welcome to Monday night's episode of the Blitz Pickup. You know who I am. We got to do a game recap. That 45-21 loss moved us to 6-9, and according to our pause moment worthy header, we got blown out. We're gonna get the guys' initial reactions. And talk about Mike McDaniel, who doubled down on Ewers and how he feels about him. And we're going to talk about our defensive struggles that led us to lose, along with some other stuff. Guys, come on up.
Yes, hey, listen. Listen. I can see if we got our back blown out, that'll be a pause moment.
Lou, I need you. Like, cause what is he talking about?
No, you don't need me. They ain't all me that's ever been blown out. I don't know what
He said, wait a minute. Nigga Nene already look, wait a minute, blown out. I can't stand y'all. You got blown. I mean, we got blown out real bad. But, hey, listen, what's good though? Yes, that was bad. Jess made it sound worse. she turned it into a pause moment. But yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about. Especially I can't wait to talk about this quarterback thing, but hey, hold on. See, Vondo already started off with the mess. Vondo said, okay, no empty boxes this Monday, I see. Hey, you can elaborate on that, Vondo? What empty boxes you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And me quote my co-host. I'm a little slow, man. Sometimes you got to break things down for me. Chef Drew, what's good? I see you in here. The ambassadors here. Facts. Suicide hotline. Look at that, man. Suicide is back. Michael K. Y'all done blocked the man. You know what, Jess?
You in this blocking.
No.
There was somebody else in here. I don't know if you missed him, but there was somebody else in here that thought that he got blocked or some other nonsense too. And Nate pointed out my sweater. You've seen me wear this sweater on the show before. I was just, being supportive. Speaking of somebody that thought that they were blocked, they just entered the chat.
Who? Let me go. Let me see. Oh God, Alex left the chat. Never mind, he was never here. That's crazy.
Poor Alex.
Listen, all you bandwagoners, just trying to represent the you. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, if you wasn't with us shooting in the gym, I don't need y'all. Nay, don't be volunteer. Just don't even know nothing about UM, man. She just got it on because she liked the colors.
Actually, I do like the sweater, but I have nothing against them. But Tony knows who my actual college football team is, which is kind of wild.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. You should be hanging out with Mystic more often. Yeah. Her team all over the place. But listen, what's good, man? We got Oh yeah. See, she said, Tony, I said the same thing. Oh God, yeah. They've been talking trash about my you. Okay, y'all see what? Oh, this man got on Dolphins.
Yeah,
what's wrong with it? He putting on for the show for sure. He ain't have to say nothing.
I ain't gonna lie.
Nice sweater. I ain't gonna lie.
Nice sweater.
Hey, this shit hit right here. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Yo. I'm just telling you. Sometimes when I want to put the shit on, I put it on. You know
I see that. That's fire. I gotta give you. No, he ready for the show now, Jess. So we might well get into it.
Yeah, it looked like it. Okay, all right. So, initial reactions. What a loss. Quinn Ewers' first start. Huh?
Hold on. Wait a minute. I got you.
All right, you can do it.
Boom.
Nobody got booted, so all right. Like I said, Quinn Ewers' first start. Bad loss. But McDaniel did have a couple things to say after the game. He doubled down that Ewers is QB1 and that he made the right decision and he stands by that. And also went on to say that Ewers will be QB1 next week as well. So I guess with all of that, how do you feel?
My initial reaction is wait, I couldn't use this question too, but the initial reactions is Mike McDaniel. Remember the first thing what I said? Don't get too cute. Stick to the run game. But I did wanted to see him open up a little bit more, especially when we went down. I didn't like the conservative approach that he took. To me, like you're not playing for anything. You aren't, right? Now, we didn't expect to go out there and out-duel Joe Burrow. Okay, anybody in their right mind was, at least people that with an objective taste wasn't expecting that. But I did wanted to see how, Quinn Ewers was going to react to, adversity and being down. So Mike McDaniel, I was a little disappointed in the play call and the approach. I know if y'all remember when we was doing it live, I was saying about him not going for it on that fourth down. I was like, what are you doing, Mike McDaniel? This is the situational football what I'm talking about, where I think you need to, reassess how you approach games and situations. Like, how are we going to know how our team react in certain situations if you're playing conservative? To me, that wasn't, I don't know if he was trying to protect Quinn Ewers or what. I don't know the thought process behind that. You have nothing to play for. We already out of the playoffs, right? So you starting them. Obviously, you're trying to see what you have in the kid. Why not open it up? Why not let him air it out? At least go for it on fourth down. See how he reacts. He didn't go for it on one possession, and then a possession after that, he go for it on 4th and 1, and we know what happened, right? It was a pretty close game until things start to spiral after halftime. Now, it was a kind of a debate in spaces today, but I want to address something. After halftime and the lack of preparation from this team, we have to start putting that on coaches, and they're emphasizing the urgency of coming out at halftime. To lose at halftime 113, what was it? It was 113 to I think what it was, 30 something, whatever. The
17.
The 17. There you go. 113 to 17 points coming out of halftime. The first drive of the game and the first drive of coming out of halftime are scripted plays. So that says more about the scripted plays and the game plan. So I think those are the things that in this game, I was like, Mike McDaniel, if it's things that people that want to move on from you, if they have things to complain about, it's that type of stuff. The in-game situation, the adjustment at the halftime. You understand the challenges, losing those type things. And then not just for me, and this is for me, not having a feel for the game and saying, okay, right here, I'm going to go for it. This is why I don't like analytics. I hate it because the analytics say, no, you don't go here. You have it. I don't care about what analytics say. Do analytics understand that you have nothing to play for as far as playoffs, right? You have a first-time quarterback in there that you're trying to see what he has, and you don't have nothing to lose. So the numbers don't mean nothing at that point. So that's why I cannot stand analytics. And my first initial reactions was, I wish Mike McDaniel would allow Quinn Ewers to do more. Also, defense, we got to get stops. You can't continue to fail, when we get into these situations or the upper echelons. I think they scored on the first 3 drives coming out of halftime. That's not good. So defense they had to do better. Listen, I like what we're seeing for Achane. At least Quinn Ewers got waddled the ball. There's some good, some bad, but I think overall getting blown out 45-21 at home, that is ridiculous. Like that was embarrassing. Even to the small fans the small group of fans that attended the game, I believe they deserve more of a more of a effort. All I know is that we were doing good when Lewis was calling the game in the first.
That might be something there.
That is a fact, game boy. You know what? That's a fact. I can't even say nothing about that one.
See, I've been telling y'all it's Lewis, Jess, and them. You see what I'm saying? No, we've been trying to tell y'all, man.
And he always says that it's me, that when I say they're gonna win, they always lose. I projected them to lose and they still lost. So it's definitely you up there in the left.
But I projected them to lose. I projected them to lose this time.
I don't care. You started calling it,
no,
and
only
all of a
one
sudden
person
shit went downhill.
You right. That is true. But you know what? So what we said, Lewis to do the play-by-play going forward? That would have sounded like we telling. Hey, Game Boy, you think Lewis should do the play? I think he did such an amazing job. The play-by-play, even though he was 9 plays behind.
Look. He's saying that sarcastic. You heard the sarcastic. You heard how he said that, Jess? You heard how he said that? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, the hate is real, man. The hate is real, man.
You know, Lou, I mean, you might have to do it from now on because, you know, he might be in the car chasing people around the city. So I don't know, like.
hey, Jess, watch out.
You care to elaborate on that?
I'm just saying, Tone has never doubled down. He asked for the locations, so I'm just saying.
I
don't know what you're talking about.
Jess, every time I receive a text message from Tone, I already know he in the city. He in the city.
Like he said it. He said, I just got out my car and I got back in real quick. That's how he does.
I get that text. I know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we doing. We putting private conversations out on YouTube like that. That's what we doing.
Hey, Jess, it usually comes with a picture or a video or something behind it. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Maybe what, Lou, for Christmas we should have got him a selfie stick. Then he could have just held it while he recorded himself around various locations.
That's crazy, man.
Wow. In the next 2 games, let me get us back on track, y'all. Y'all see that they trying to be messy today. In the next 2 games, if they get blown out, another people saying they get blown out. I think McDaniel should be fired. You know what? That maybe I don't know. After Lewis get initial reactions, we probably could actually see how we feel about that. But for the most part, you see, they're gonna messiness right there. They're gonna messiness. For the most part, I think this was more to me. It was more on me evaluating Mike McDaniel and how he reacted to Quinn Ewers' first start and the way he was calling the games. I was a bit disappointed, but you know, we'll see. You know, we got other things to talk about further down the line. But I'm not gonna lie. I left that game afterwards feeling disappointed with the lack of opportunities that Quinn Ewers wasn't able or wasn't afforded, you know, for the most part. And and Achane just being Achane, so we gonna have to talk about him later on down the line. Let's see how he finished the season off. But if he continues playing like this, that number is continue to go up. It's gonna continue to go up and up and up. So not a good showing for me. For Mike McDaniel, you know, I got to call it how it is. I always praise him when I think he did a great job. Not saying that his play calling wasn't bad. I just think the situational in-game decisions just wasn't to my liking. But, you know, that's that.
Okay, yeah. Again, my initial game thoughts. I'm going to kind of start where Tony kind of ended. And everybody knows I've been high on Mike McDaniel. I'm still high on Mike McDaniel, to be honest with you. But I got to be honest, like Tone said, I thought Mike McDaniel did a poor job yesterday in the way he optimizes, like, Quinn Ewers' performance. I think Tone was spot on there. I know we'll talk a little bit later on and more in depth about Quinn Ewers, but as far as Mike McDaniel goes, listen, you're eliminated from the playoffs. A move like this, you only have 3 games left. It's all about evaluating. Like, I don't need to see no more. I'm not saying I don't want to use Devon Achane. That's not what I'm saying. But if we don't know what Devon Achane is already, then I don't know what Dolphin fans are watching. We know what Waddle is. We pretty much have an idea what this offensive line is. We have an idea pretty much of everybody that played yesterday except one, Quinn Ewers. Yep. And when I was watching the game early, Tone, I know you were on the road, you were doing some things. He didn't start off bad, bro. I think he started off 4 out of 5 or maybe 5 out of 6 or something like that. He had made some plays on the run. You know, again, I don't know why Mike McDaniel, it just seemed like he was so hesitant to let him play a little bit. Like at this point, you have nothing to lose. I said it Friday when we were doing our score predictions on our kind of game preview. If you're not fighting for nothing, if the playoffs, obviously we're eliminated. I would have just loved to see him let it go a little bit with Quinn Ewers. What you're trying to do is evaluate to see if maybe you got a guy that can maybe be your starter moving forward, or hell, at least a solid backup as your number 2 guy, right? Like, and I just felt like I'm with you, Tone. After the game yesterday, thinking about it and, you know, my just going and running things back through my head, it just didn't seem like he let the kid play a little bit, right? Like, yeah, there's going to be mistakes, but I want to see those mistakes. There's going to be some highlights. I want to see those highlights. It's part of the evaluation, and I got to be fair. I did question Mike McDaniel yesterday. I'm with you, Tone. Not so much from the play calling. It wasn't the plays he was calling. It was just, again, too much running for me. I would have liked to see a lot more bootlegs. I would have see, again, there's things that we know obviously Quinn Ewers can do that Tua cannot do. And I just think yesterday it was, I don't know. I didn't get a full evaluation of what I thought. I'm not saying I was going to get a full evaluation anyway after one game of Quinn Ewers. I just think he could have did a better job. Listen, the man I think was 20 for 30 for 260 yards. Does anyone think that if he maybe would have opened this thing up more, Quinn Ewers could have possibly threw for 300 plus? I do.
Yeah, a possibility, yes.
So what I'm saying is, man, again, and it's not about the yardage or not, but I'm with you, Tone. I think Mike McDaniel yesterday, I don't know what it was. Maybe he got in his own head. I just, again, it's not the play calling. It's just at this point, bro, if you're going to play Quinn Ewers, open this thing up a little bit and let him play. Because obviously, we seen it yesterday, and I forgot who said it in the space earlier. Shout out to them. I don't want to say who said it because I don't want to get it wrong. But I was listening, and I was like, damn, that's a very good point. We didn't see a lot of bubble screens and screenplays yesterday. Did anybody notice that?
You just
it was a lot.
It was
a lot more, a little bit down the field, intermediate throws. And again, I'm not saying we've never seen Tua Tagovailoa do that, but here recently down this stretch, it's been a lot of dink and dunk. And again, listen to what Mike McDaniel's been saying, Frank Smith's been saying about Tua and the conviction. And man, we're seeing things that are there, and Tua's, for whatever reason, is just not pulling the trigger. It seemed like yesterday Quinn Ewers wasn't having that problem. I would have just liked to see, I would have liked to see a little bit more of that from a play calling standpoint. Like Mike McDaniel, open this thing up and let the young kid go out there and either succeed or fail. But just it just felt like yesterday, and I'll end it here. It was like we were holding them back. Like at some point, you got to take the training wheels off. You know, let the kid go out there and play. But that was my initial thoughts, Tone. I'm with you. Mike McDaniel, I just felt like there was things that, again, was left on the field, and because of Mike McDaniel, really. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, he was scared or whatever. He just got complacent. But, nah, bro, you make a move like this, let the kid go out there and play.
Facts, 100%. Happy holidays, Damien. I see you in the chat.
So, obviously, a lot of viewers talk. Kind of mentioned it before. Mike McDaniel had said he is naming him, obviously, as a starter again next week. Thoughts on that? Obviously, we like that. We want to see more, right? So, go ahead.
Do you want to take this first or what?
No, go ahead, Tony. You can take off.
Yeah, you see, this is the petty part of the show. I like the fact that when they asked him about it, he doubled down and basically said, "Yeah, I made the right decision about moving forward with Quinn Ewers." So I don't know if that was another shot taken at Tua. It seems like he's taking more shots at Tua as he can. So, but my thoughts is, it's kind of Lewis was just saying, I brought it up, and Lewis was just saying the same thing. If this is your thought process going forward, then how come you didn't open it up a little bit more for the kid and give him more opportunities, more shots downfield? Being aggressive on fourth down, on third and long. I don't like the fact the fumble. If you recall the fumble when Dolis fumbled the football, it was third and like 18, I think it was, right? And you throw that safe play. Why? Go for it. All routes should have been ran at the sticks. There should have been no route ran below the sticks except for the out if he didn't, whatever. Once they cleared them out, and maybe A-Chan can make something happen underneath after you have everyone else clear the sticks. So those are the things that had me kind of baffled. Now, I didn't see the beginning of the game, so Lou was saying that he started off pretty good, efficient. So there's a telltale sign to let the young man continue to show you what he has. These games, correct me if I'm wrong, Lou Jess, but these games aren't about winning and losing. It's about seeing what Quinn Ewers does in certain situations, getting the most out of him. Like Lou said, optimizing all of his abilities or, his capabilities. Use what he has. I don't understand the lack of being aggressive. Now, you named him the quarterback going further, which means to me it says you're really trying to see what he has. Then, it's nothing like having in-game experience. Nothing. You cannot, I don't care. You can simulate a game time situations all you want. But there's nothing like actual in-game experience and seeing how he reacts or anyone reacts live. Nothing like it, right? That's the best experience you could get. And he had an opportunity. Like, you got Joe Burrow on the other end. That offense been putting up points. So you should have had an idea that it was going to be somewhat of a shootout. And we're going to talk about defense later. So your mindset going in is this aggressive. Let me see how he reacts when he's faced with a shootout type of situation. And I didn't see that. And then you come out and you name him the starter. I think from what I saw, right, I think he showed some good things. Now, he didn't show nothing for me to say, hey, name him the starter going forward. No, absolutely not. But outside of that interception, the second one to Waddle, terrible throw, terrible decision. I don't know what he was thinking about on that play. That first interception, DOE, catch with your hands. Do not let it get into your chest. That is the downfall of, Tyreek and Waddle being your two top wide receivers. I don't think they emphasize catching with your hands as another wide receiver would if they were your lead receivers. That is you seeing some of the results of them not being hand catchers or natural hand catchers. You saw it the East, and that that football should have never got up into your shoulder or chest area to where the defender could make a play on it. If that guy would have reached his arm out, I think we'd have had a possibility of the referees being forced with a decision of whether to call a pass interference or not. Right? So that's one thing. And second of all, when you're down and it's steamrolling, at that point, everything should have been out the window anyways. Throw the football. I would have liked to see a lot more no huddle, 2-minute drill situations, seeing how he reacts. Because these are the opportunities that you have. Use them to your advantage. He's a starter. Cool, go with that. You say you feel like you made the right decision. The teammates are saying they feel like you made the right decision. If you want to see what you got, what you have in the guy, see what you have in him. Put him in every situation. Every situation. Fourth down situation. Backed up on your own yard lines, right? Goal line. Midfield at the brink of field goal range. And you know what? Let's see if we can trust you to go get the extra yard or get the first down on fourth down. I'm sorry. He had too many opportunities to put him in those situations, and he just refused to take advantage of that. Now, as far as just Quinn Ewers, take away, no, let me not take away nothing because the play is the play. I've seen him drive the football down the field. I like the fact that he target Waddle more. That was a positive to me. And I like the fact that, I was pointing out Joe Burrow, how he had completion to 6 different receivers. At the first half, Quinn Ewers had completion to 4 different receivers. And then toward the end of the game, it ended up being 6 different receivers as well. So that's spreading the ball out. And not just 1 and 2, because we seen Theo Weiss get involved. He had attempted Cedric Wilson, Waddle, obviously, Darren Waller, Dolich, and Achane. So that's spreading the ball out, distributing the football to the open guy. And you know what else we wanted to see? I wanted to see, just like Lou said, get him out in bootlegs. See how comfortable he is making a decision on whether to throw the football or taking off and making plays with your legs. Seeing how he react to certain things. More RPO action. Something. But you should have took the advantage of putting him in every in-game situation as you possibly could. And I just don't think he maximized his opportunities in that situation. But I'm interested in looking to see what we have in Quinn Ewers, because at the very least, you're going to need him for either if you want to move off a tour and say, you know what, let's go for with Quinn Ewers to see how the season panned out. And if he don't pan out, guess what? You in prime position to get your quarterback of the future. So I'm cool with him announcing, and I think that should have been a foregone conclusion anyways, that Quinn Ewers should have been the starting quarterback going forward, because you don't bench Tua and then all of a sudden turn around and say, we're going to bring in Zach Wilson or bring Tua back. No, you don't. You at the point of return. This is a young kid. We know what we have. Young man, I'm sorry. We know what we have in Zach Wilson. We've seen him years. And also we know what we have in Tua because obviously, you paid the guy. But yeah, I think I'm cool with him naming Quinn Ewers as the starter. I just hope he maximizes the opportunities that we have going forward in these last 2 games.
Listen, I'm going to second that notion. The fact of the matter is, Quinn Ewers didn't do nothing yesterday to show me that he shouldn't be the quarterback 1 moving forward. Like, for the people that think it was a bad game and, we made the wrong decision and Tua should have came back or whatever. No, I'm sorry. I know, listen, there's a lot of times that, we'll call G out. Now I see G in the chat, and we'll call G out and say some of the things he's saying off the wall. He's spot on. There was something that he said earlier, and especially here the past couple, let's say 5, 6, 7 weeks of the season. There was throws yesterday that I seen Quinn Ewers make an attempt that, let's face it, Tua Tagovailoa cannot do. That throw in the interception that he had to Theo Weiss, I don't know if anybody noticed, but that throw was on a rope. It was on a line. It was a straight spiral, and it hit Theo Weiss in between the 8 and the 1. The fact of the matter is, if Theo Weiss sticks his hands out there and catches it with his hands, that's not an interception. That should have been a completion. And I'm sorry for the people that this might offend and hurt their feelings. Tua Tagovailoa does not attempt that throw. He does not. And a 7th-round rookie had the wherewithal to make that throw.
Wow.
The fact of the matter is, Tone, when you were gone early in the game, I believe it was on the first possession of the Dolphins. He escaped to his left, took a shot while rolling out, and had a completion for about 20-some yards to Darren Waller. I know I just said here the past 6, 7 weeks, Tua Tagovailoa hasn't made that throw in 6 years. If Tua Tagovailoa would have got hit like Quinn Ewers got hit yesterday on that throw, Tua Tagovailoa might have missed the remainder of the season. People can get in their feelings all they want to. I'm not saying we have anything in Quinn Ewers. What I'm saying is again, yesterday, I'm glad you started with that tone of what Mike McDaniel said. Yeah, Mike McDaniel doubled down on it. He said, absolutely. I don't know if everybody else seen and heard the full interview of Mike McDaniel. Again, that's not the only thing he said. I'm sure we'll talk about that maybe at another date or time or whatever. I think Mike McDaniel is noticing that there's a lot more things he can do with Quinn Ewers than what he could do with Tua Tagovailoa. So listen, it's short. Basically my thoughts on this topic. Yeah, Quinn Ewers moving forward should be the quarterback. One thing I did look for, Tone, Jess, and Tone, I think me and you kind of talked about it, right? Was the kid going to come out and look nervous? Was the moment of him being in his first start going to kind of get to him? No, I didn't. He didn't look nervous. He didn't look rattled. After an interception, you know what I didn't see Quinn Ewers do yesterday after the 2 interceptions he had? On the sideline, keying with anybody. I didn't see him doing any of that. In the press conference after the game, all I heard Quinn Ewers had accountability and said he had to play better. That's what he said. It wasn't about the team. It wasn't how the team performed. It wasn't about a snap or a center or a wide receiver. He said, I got to be better. That's a 7th-round rookie. And I'm going to end it with this, Tone, Jess. Quinn Ewers was a 7th-rounder this year. He was in there with Cam Ward. He was in there with Shedeur Sanders. He was in there with a bunch of guys. Let's go down the list. Again, and I'm not trying to take a shot at nobody, but go tell me what Cam Ward looked like in his first start in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Go tell me what Shedeur Sanders looked like in his first start in the NFL. And I can tell you one thing. Y'all might not like it, but that 7th-round rookie out of all quarterbacks that was drafted this season, Quinn Ewers had the best opening day performance from a rookie. That was him. He had the best performance. He was better than the number 1 overall pick. He was better than everybody's Shedeur Sanders favorite pick. That's what he was. So y'all can get in y'all's feelings if you want to. Listen, I'm not trying to go as long or whatever. I'm with you, Tone. I think Mike McDaniel did the right decision. I think by standing on it, he's basically letting everybody know he sees something in him, right? And at the end of the day, bro, listen, I'm not saying Quinn Ewers is the end-all, be-all, but from what we seen yesterday, I do believe he should be, again, at least the starter moving forward in this season. And it's intriguing to see what he has, because at the end of the day, bro, there were some things yesterday that he did that, I'm sorry, we haven't been able to see over 6 years. It's been 6 years that we haven't seen it. So I'm sorry. I'm with you, Tone. Am I saying off of yesterday he should be starting in 26? No, that's not what I'm saying. But in 25 and moving forward, oh, nah, bro. I'm trying to see what I got in Quinn Ewers. Because he might, Tone, from what we have in the quarterback room now, he might be the best option in 26. I don't know about what's coming out in the draft or what Miami does. But looking at it, is Quinn Ewers better than Zach Wilson? Yes, he is. Is he comparable to Tua? I mean, yesterday he did things, again, he did things that Tua cannot do. It just is what it is. So that's my thoughts on Quinn Ewers, man. I'm not all in, but I'm all in this season. That's for damn sure.
I'll say this. Comparable to Tua. First year Tua, yes. The veteran Tua, the Tua we got in 22-23. I wouldn't say he's playing at that level, but let's be honest and let's evaluate him honestly. We're talking about first year Quinn Ewers, first start Quinn Ewers, as opposed to first year and first start Tua Tagovailoa. I think they pointed out Tua Tagovailoa, his first start, he only had 90 passing yards. So let's keep that in perspective. And then second of all, Lou, you brought up a great point as far as when he had bad plays. I've asked this about Tua for the past season and a half because I think halfway through last season is when I first started asking this question. How often do we see Tua after a bad play or after any plays go to the sideline and grab the tablet and see what's going on? Now, a lot of people were saying, oh, that's just something that we don't do. But shout out to Nene and Dave, because I got on the stream a little late, because I was dealing with some personal issues. But the first thing I asked was, have we seen Quinn Ewers go grab a tablet in between possessions? And everyone said yes. So you mean in his first start, he's going to the sideline, grabbing a tablet and seeing the defense, how they was playing, the errors, what can be fixed. And we never seen this out of Tua. I know people don't pay attention to those type of things, but I do. Because you see that around the league from all of the quarterbacks and players in general. The first thing they do typically is go grab that tablet, go to the positional coach, and see what was wrong. Look at the coverage. That's live in-game adjustments right there. So that is a big key thing that we haven't been seeing. Now, I don't know what the reason for Tua not ever doing that, but I don't like it, and obviously it's not working. And as far as Tua is concerned, man, now someone, I think it was Steve, someone pointed out when Quinn Ewers threw the interception, Tua was the first one to go over there with him, with the iPad in his hand. Well, why wasn't you doing that when you were the starter? Where was this? Y'all don't see the irony of that? That's crazy to me. Those type of things matter. When you're getting paid like that, those are the things that matter that I pay attention to. It's like, it's the little things. It's the outworking. It's the constant wanting to go over things and get better and see what's wrong. How can I improve? What did I do wrong? What did I miss? Oh, I didn't see. How many times did we hear, even in this year, did we hear Tua say, yeah, I thought it was this, but I just didn't see that guy. Oh, I thought he was going to be there, but I couldn't, I didn't notice him at the last minute. But this is what the iPad and film and on the sideline is for. I've never seen that. Never seen. No one ever seen Tua grab an iPad and sit on the sideline with his coach. No one has seen that. And I've been asking this. So that is a key thing that I see Quinn Ewers doing. And to another one of your points, Lou, I'm glad you brought this up. He didn't look rattled. He didn't look like the moment was too big for him. He looked calm, composed, and he was really just, in the swing of things. That was a good sign. So I think at the end of the day, Mike McDaniel, please take advantage of this opportunity, because at the very least, I'm going to reiterate this. At the very least, you could have a backup quarterback that you trust can run your offense. He's a 7-rounder, cheap contract. I just don't get it. Bro, you want someone that could come in and win games. We had the biggest issue. I'm talking about the biggest. One of our biggest problems is when Tua went down, the backup quarterbacks looked completely trash. Completely trash. So it will be refreshing if we at least have confidence in our backup for a change. They say, okay, well, we know at least he's capable to hold the fort down for a game or two, because this is the whole purpose of having backups, a comparable backup. You just really need them to hold the fort down for a game or two or three games at a 4-game stretch at the most. Like right now, look at the Baltimore Ravens. They better hope Tyler Huntley can win them a couple games, because they can't afford to lose any more games. And apparently, it's a bad back contusion from Lamar, and they're out the playoff. They're playing for their playoff lives. Quarterbacks go down, so you have to be prepared for it. Oh, you know what? That's a good good observation too. He didn't have happy feet in that pocket.
He definitely did not have happy feet in the pocket. And remember, when we were coming out of the half, we were down 17-14, Tone.
It was only 17-14, Lou.
The Dolphins got the ball first, Tone. Remember. Again, it was a bad pass interference call. That would have been a 35-yard completion. Then we were driving. Greg Dulcich had a completion, and he fumbled. Quinn Ewers was already had the Dolphins inside Cincinnati territory. Worst case scenario, if that drive stalls, Tone, let's say, worst case scenario, they're at least getting a field goal attempt to tie the game at 17.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like we said, I heard a lot of people today say, well, it was the halftime adjustments and stuff. Again, I don't know what the defense would have did in the second half, but when the Dolphins came out of their of halftime on that opening drive, they were moving the ball. Again, it was a bad,
terrible,
bad, bro. That was one of the worst pass interference calls I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. And we don't complain about ref calls and things of that nature.
And that's true, Tony. I'm glad you brought that up. I know over here, we never talk referees over here. We never do that. But let's call a spade, bro. That was a 30-some yard completion, probably 35 yards, something like that, and it got ripped away from us. Greg Dulcich, again, running, trying to make a play. I get it. It happens. Listen, he fumbled. But at the end of the day, he fumbled. That's not on the quarterback play. Listen, again, bro, I think Quinn Ewers did some things yesterday that should give everybody hope. That's all we're saying. We're not talking about he's the next Tom Brady. But when I look at those overall numbers, 20 for 30, that ball to Theo Weiss, again, in my estimation, that should have been a completion. Just stick your hands out. Don't let that body get to your chest, right? And there's even the scramble. I think he tripped over his foot, Tone, on the quarterback sneak. You even highlighted, and it was a good point by you. I think he slipped on the 50-yard line, the logo or whatever. He's kind of slipped.
The logo.
Right. But, bro, again, we haven't seen a quarterback sneak in 6 years over here. We seen it yesterday. If Quinn Ewers does not trip over his own legs yesterday, that probably goes for a run for a first down. I think before he tripped, he had like 5 or 6 yards already. There's a lot of things to like about Quinn Ewers, and I think yesterday was the first shot of where you got to see it, right? The moment didn't look big for him. The situation didn't look big for him. To your point, no happy feet. He didn't look rattled. He understood. You know what was crazy to me, Tom? And I haven't heard nobody bring this up. So, hey, everybody in the chat, you're welcome. You know how we always say that with this offense, when Mike McDaniel has to do a better job of getting this team lined up at the line of scrimmage because it's delay of game, penalties, this, that, and the third. I didn't see no issues yesterday. It looked like Quinn Ewers was getting them boys out of the huddle and lined up very good, very quick.
Oh my God, that was a great point, dude.
It didn't look. Now, Tony, am I wrong? Did it look like we had any issues?
Not. You know what? It was so smooth that I ain't even thought to bring it up while we were calling the game. No one said.
There you go. And that's a 7th-round rookie, Tone. Now, we're talking about we still have issues with our quarterback that's been in the league for 6 years and 4 years under this offense. But y'all want me to believe that's a Mike McDaniel problem? Y'all want me to believe that's a team problem? But hey, you know what? What do I know, Tone? I'm just a guy, a casual that has a small YouTube channel. I don't know, and I don't notice nothing. You know what I'm saying?
That was a great point, Lou. We didn't seem to be running down and snapping the ball last second, and then didn't see. Did we hear anything about miscommunication yesterday? Wow.
Not one time.
Not one time. No miscommunications. Wow. No burning timeouts. Wow. You know what? I didn't think of it from that standpoint. Way to point that out, Lou. Now they're gonna say that's hate, Lou. They're gonna say that was hate because we just want to point out the flaws of Tua. It can't be hate if it's the truth. I'm just saying. If you tell me the truth, I won't. I don't know if I would call it actually hate. But hey, man, let's talk about just give us the last one. Plays were getting in on time. Do you think it was only that game, Nate, that they were getting in on time? All of a sudden they just started getting in on time out of nowhere? I don't know. It's a lot of things coming to the light.
Interesting. So this last one, defensive struggles, right? They gave up 45 points to the Bengals when last week the Bengals played the Ravens and they got shut out. So what's the thoughts on our defense, and why does it seem like every time we face offenses in the league that are better than us, good, exceptional throughout the league itself, we always come up short on our defense at least. So how do you guys feel about our defense after yesterday?
Well, I'll go first on this one. Tones had the first on the first two topics because I won't be long here. On Friday on the game preview, I basically said, listen, this, and I didn't even know this was when we didn't even think if Higgins was going to play or not. It was still questionable. We know what happens when T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow is on the field. We know what happens, especially when Joe Burrow can get comfortable and you're not putting a lot of pressure on him, which Miami did not yesterday. This is why a person like me, Tone, and others say we would trade heaven on earth to go get Joe Burrow. These are the reasons why. With that being said, I'm not shocked. In the game preview on Friday, I said, nah, I wouldn't be shocked if there's a high-scoring game. That's why I had it 31-30. And to be fair to myself, if I look at it, yeah, they scored 45, and I'm not trying to give our defense no pass because in the second half, it was absolutely terrible, right? It was terrible. It was atrocious. I mean, Tony was pointing it out on some of the Chase Brown runs to the end zone. He wasn't even getting touched. Samaje Perine or whatever, I think on that touchdown he didn't get touched neither. And I'm talking about they're running inside zone on it. They're running right up the middle, and we're not even putting fingers on them. So they were bad. I'm not trying to defend the defense at all. What I will say, those two turnovers that happened, though, gave them short fields in the second half, especially in the third quarter. I think it was back-to-back. I think Cincinnati started one drive inside the 30 and one right outside the 30. That's short fields, again, especially with a guy like Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Chase Brown. Let's say those don't happen. I'm not saying Cincinnati doesn't score, but if they got to maybe go down the field and maybe take more time off the clock, do they score 21 points on us in the third quarter? I doubt it, right? I strongly doubt that. So I'm not trying to give the defense a pass. They got to be better. Tone, I know Tone wants to say some things about maybe some matchups of when they play upper tier talent. I'll let him say that. Again, I knew the defense was going to have some trouble with Cincinnati, so I'm not going to kill them. But nah, bro, you got to be better. And even like we've seen this defense before when the offense has, turned the ball over. Instead of letting them get in the end zone, they hold them to 3 points or whatever. They didn't do that yesterday. It is what it is. Listen, our defense was bad. I thought Cincinnati was going to score a lot of points. I just didn't think it was 45. So they got to be better. A lot of the guys we've been depending on, I think Jack Jones had one of his worst games yesterday.
Yes.
In a Dolphin uniform. I think Jordan Brooks had one of his worst games I've seen in a Dolphin uniform. Ashton Davis did not play well in the secondary from the safety position. All in all, just a bad performance from the defense, especially in the second half. But again, it's Joe Burrow, it's T. Higgins, it's Jamar Chase. I kind of knew it was going to happen. I just didn't think it was going to come in 45 points. But that's just my quick assessment on the defense, man. They were bad, especially in the second half.
Yeah, and you did, say something that I wanted to bring forward to our listeners, our subscribers. Listen, before I do that, 35 of y'all in the building, please, if y'all haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Road to 800. I believe we're over 750. I don't think we're around 755. But y'all hit that subscribe button. We are live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we do live stream the games. Well, not live stream, live play-by-play, and have a watch parties over here. So y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Help grow the channel, push this content out so people will come over here and get, some real content of people that's up here giving a 100% objective takes on our team, not the sugar. This is not the 100% just positive all the time. We are going to point out the flaws of this team so we can give our ideas or our suggestions on how this team could be better. Now, one thing we do and we pride ourselves on is keeping that same energy. Now, we've been lighting this offense up since Mike McDaniel got here on how they perform against the upper echelon teams. Well, I mentioned this last season, and it seemed like it's following up in this season. People, let's be 100. When we play the top tier team, this defense have to do better. So this season, week 1, Indianapolis Colts, 33 points. Y'all remember? Didn't get one stop that game. Week 2, the Patriots, 33 points. I think we didn't get a stop until the third quarter of that game. I think that was we didn't get a stop in, I think, 7 straight quarters until we had got to stop. Finally got to stop on defense and force the punt. Right? Week 3 against Buffalo Bills, 31 points. So that was 30 points back to back to back. We could bring up the Panthers, which is it looked like they're gonna be in a playoff contender. They gave up 27 to them. The Chargers the following week, 29 points. I'm not gonna bring up the Browns because I think they had a defensive touchdown in that game, but it was 31 points against the Browns. And the Ravens, 28 points. And it was one more team. I'm sorry. The Steelers, 28 points. And then yesterday, 45 points to the Cincinnati Bengals. That is a trend, people. So this defense was playing well, but we can't only play well against the bottom tiers. This defense has to start showing up against those top tier teams. Now in the Pittsburgh game, it wasn't a bad showing at first, but then they broke down at the end. But still, man, I just gotta call a spade a spade. I see the effort, but they have to start showing up, more consistent, I would say, against the top team. Because Lou pointed out something that we all pointed out. When you're going in there, you facing T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, it's a shootout. It's a shootout. But I would like for us the top tier teams, when you go against those teams, for the most part, they're mid to low 20s. You want to hold those teams too. Now, if you go look at the Houston, the Denver, the top tier teams, defensive teams, when those top offenses going against them, they show up. Now, I'm not going to mention scoring 0 points against Baltimore because that's a Division 4. But when they go against, sometimes the Kansas City Chiefs, Joe Burrow will beating them 23, 20 games like that. So at least their defense was holding them down and teams was holding them to 23 points. I think those will be when you say, well, the defense did all they can. They're going against top offenses. So you need the offense to help out as well. But you can't continue to give up 30, 29, 28, you know what I'm saying, against these top teams, and then us say that they're good defense. At some point, you have to be like, listen, that defense did all they can. So, Anthony Weaver, we got to call you out. We seen some good things. We see the potential. Maybe, we need to get better players in there. But I'm not going to lie. Jack Jones and Rasheed Douglas been balling this year. Lewis just pointed out that was Jack Jones' worst game of the season. I think we could more, well, at least for me, I could overlook this easier if, for the most part, listen, man, they're allowed to have a bad game or two. You know, a couple bad games. It happens. Some teams are going to get you. But God dog, you know, when it's every team up there, they're scoring 28 plus points. That's, to me, that's not a good sign. You know, it's not a good sign. I was willing to forgive it in the earlier parts of the season because, yes, they would just get acclimated to each other and there was no camaraderie. But, you know, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati now back-to-back weeks. Come on. We got to do better. And I said this when we were talking about the Pittsburgh game. And they were like, man, they were playing so tough. You know, they finally broke in the second half. I'm like, you can't tell me that on the first drive of the second half. You know, you can't tell me that they were tired. They let Pittsburgh march straight down the field. And then the following drive, they let Pittsburgh march. I think they scored 21 straight points in that game again. Right? That was the first time, I think, in a while, that was the first time that a team had scored like 21 straight up. I forgot how it was.
No, that was the first time in, I believe, 4 years that Pittsburgh scored 4 touchdowns in 4 straight possessions.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns and 4 straight possessions. So, I can't give you a pass on that. You know, then I could come and say, listen, man, it's Cincinnati. Give them a break. You know, and now I would like to, and now in fairness to our defense, that momentum is a thing as well. So you get in a fumble and a correction to Lou, that fumble by Dulcich, that was on our own 35-yard line. So, you know, they
unbelievable
in plus position. You get me? And then the interception again on a 42-yard, I think it was, I forgot. Right? So again, plus field. That you giving a high power offense coming off 0 points. If you know anything about football and competition, and you're one of those type of offenses, it is inexcusable to score 0 points. But guess what? They're going to come out the next game and say, now they have a point to prove. And they did. So they should have expected this. And, you know, it don't help when you have an offense that is, you know, turning the ball over. Now, see, if they was giving up, if they would have held them at least 2, you get 3 turnovers, give me 2 field goals and a touchdown. I'm like, okay, man, come on now. You know, now the scoreboard don't say 45. It might say 31. You know what I'm saying? It might say 29, but you can say, well, 3 turnovers in their own end zone, back-to-back, cool, and then you turn over on down. That was 3 back-to-back drives where they had the football in plus territory. I'm talking about Cincinnati offense. So, yeah, you expect them to, you know, have some struggles when it comes to a high-power offense. So, that's different. And Wong, I see you. You are correct. We pointed that out. That BS call, it changed the whole momentum. It did. Because that's when the fumble came right after that. But I would like for my defense to hold them to field goals on some of those drives. You know, it's the fact that they're giving up touchdowns, which would make me say, well, God, dog, you know, give me something else to work with at least. So, Anthony Weaver, we see the scheme. And, hold on. This is not on 100% on Anthony Weaver. Because, just like my co-host Lou pointed out, some of them plays, that man was running untouched. Y'all got to get off the blocks. But on a couple of them as well, it was the missed tackles again. You right in the hole. Stopping for no yard gain. He breaks off a big one because y'all missing tackles. And you remember, Lou, when I was saying on 2 of those drives, back to back, Chase Brown put a nice move on Jordan Brooks. Jordan Brooks, you had a bad out in that game.
It was terrible.
So it's not 100% on Anthony Weaver. The players are still in possession. Aston Davis on that touchdown. Bro, just look back. Interception. So it go back.
Jack Jones multiple times. Just turn your head around in your position to make a play on the ball. So, yeah.
Yes.
It's not all on Anthony Weaver.
Yeah, I would say don't think it's just an Anthony Weaver bashing. No, it just, I just got to keep the same energy. But players are in position. So let's not get that twisted. Players are in position. They just have to execute. And we want to see them execute against the top tier teams because those games are when it mattered the most. And listen, it's a learning experience. Things happen. I hate to just harp on this over and over, but we have to keep the same energy. I have to point out things that they have to improve upon because I believe we are in positions a lot of times. And if y'all go back to listen to me when I was calling the game, guess what I was saying? God doggone, he go to missing tackle things showing up again, rearing his ugly head out again. I'm sorry. When it's missed tackle people, that means players are in position to make plays. Can't put that on coaching. That's execution.
Absolutely, I would agree. And no, and Tone real quick because again, 2-2. The fact of the matter is, let's get back to the Chop Robinson conversation. Chop Robinson is god awful. Chop Robinson is god awful. He's terrible, bro. He's too small. Almost there. Bro, I went the whole game yesterday, didn't even see Chop Robinson on the field. And he played. You know how bad it is to say? I'm going to say that again so the people that it maybe went over their head. I didn't even see Chop Robinson, and he played the game. Chop Robinson, I'm sorry. I know there's certain people in the community that was very high on Chop Robinson. And when me and Tone last year came out and said, we're just not seeing it with Chop, they had their bird chest poked out because he got a bunch of tackles and sacks. Tone was just talking about the games that matter. Chop Robinson did a bunch of things last year in a couple games that didn't matter against terrible offensive lines. When you need Chop Robinson to show up or do anything, he doesn't. Chop Robinson is a bust, bro. I'm sorry. And if we're going to keep waiting for the Chop Robinsons of the world to, again, we traded Jalen Phillips. I'm good. We're getting rid of Bradley Chubb. I'm going to be good on that.
I don't know. I can't hear you. Cut out.
Chop Robinson, Tone. Jeff. That's what we need. I'm saying we need two edges.
Hold on. Go back. We need to put what?
Because we check. Okay. We need to get Chop Robinson up out of here, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We need to get him up out of here. We got rid of Jalen Phillips. We're gonna get rid of Bradley Chubb. I know Chop Robinson will be here. I don't mean it like that, but I'm saying we need two pass rushers. The fact of the matter is, Tone, Jess, we drafted him number 18 overall or whatever it was in the first round. When I think of first round picks, I think of the TJ Watts of the world. I think of guys that are making impacts. Bro, Chop Robinson makes no impact in any game. Like, what impact does Chop Robinson make? He's terrible in the running game. He's non-existent as a pass rusher. Like, what does he give you? What does he give you? He gives you absolutely nothing. I'm sorry, bro. Listen, again, 2-2. Me and Tone were on that early. Chop Robinson, you're a bust in my opinion. All that shit is cute when you get your little half a sack and you're doing that little chop dance and everybody is booty clapping for you on the sideline. Bro, sit your stupid ass down somewhere. You're trash. It just is what it is. Chop Robinson is terrible. You want something on the defense? You want to blame someone on the defense? Blame Chop Robinson. No. Hey, Tone, we're playing Joe Burrow yesterday. You got to make Chop Robinson feel or you got to make Joe Burrow get uncomfortable, right? Yep. You got to put pressure on him. What the hell is Chop Robinson doing? Nah, bro. Chop Robinson is trash. Go sit your stupid ass down somewhere.
I say, oh my God. Yo, I will say this. I did point this out when one of the keys to the game. Remember the defensive keys? I said make Joe Burrow uncomfortable. Do not let him sit back in that pocket and just deliver the ball. Make him uncomfortable. And I said preferably with 4. If you can rush 4, that leaves still sorry. That still leave you with 7 in the backfield in coverage. But hey, these are the things. You spent a first round pick on Chop Robinson. I was speaking, to a couple of people. Shout out to Neil. We was in Spaces today, and Neil said, he think that Ruben Bain could fall to us at 8. And I was like, I'm sorry, Neil, but are you telling me 3 years in a row we going defense with our first round pick? Defensive line, I'm sorry. Chop Robinson hasn't lived up to nowhere near what we expect him to be. They got him at 21. Kenneth Grant, he showed some improvement toward the end, but nowhere near a 13 overall pick. I'm sorry. And then you gonna tell me we're gonna go get another edge? Nah. No. I'm sorry. Yeah, Jonah do suck too. I see. Yeah, Alba. But listen. Why you keep on? Somebody who's evaluating these defensive ends or these defensive linemen aren't doing a good job. I'm sorry. Lewis just said it. He feel like Chop Robinson the bust. I'm not 100% saying that right now, but I'm leaning towards there. After this season, so far, which I might well say it now, he's a bust based on the production we got out of him. What do you expect from your first round draft pick? Now, the same thing we said last year, we can say this year. You still have an opportunity to change our mind, but bro, you a bust.
Yeah. All that is cute. We can't change our mind. Tone, I'm not trying to cut you off. Hey, Jess, real quick, can you look up by chance, Jess, Chop Robinson's numbers for the season, like tackle wise and stuff, sack wise? Can you look that up, Jess?
Yeah. Let's see that. Because, good Lord, blame Chop. Don't use my last name in this. It ain't our fault. Mama named Robinson.
Well, you know what? Hey, you know what? To be fair to Nene, I got a name for him. Chop Aloysius. Call him Chop Aloysius then, because he acting like Aloysius right now. The man's trash. Go ahead, Jeff.
If this is correct, for the current season, he has recorded around 17 total tackles with 3.5 sacks.
Now, you mean to tell me you drafted this man in the first round, and in year 2 he got 17 tackles? He got 3 sacks. You know who he is? He's Deion Jordan.
Ooh.
You know who he is? He's Charles Harris.
Charles Harris.
Bro, what are we talking about? This dude, we talking about, Chop Robinson has all these attributes. Attributes in doing what? 17 tackles. Tone, I'm going to tell you right now, Tone, if you put another 40 pounds on you, you can go out there and get 17 tackles. I ain't going to lie to you.
I go get 40. I get 17 tackles now.
Okay, well, you put another 40 pounds, you might get 50 tackles. I mean, what the hell are we talking about? 17 tackles with Chop? Yeah. 17, dog? Dog, we going into week 16 of the season. You got 17 tackles?
17 tackles and 3.5 sacks?
Nah, bro. Nah,
that's terrible. Yeah, that's horrible. Yeah. I think at this point we could start using that word bust. Come on, man. Phew, 1 tackle per week, maybe 1.3 tackles a week. But yeah, that's kind of wild.
Yeah, that man said 1 tackle per week. Chop Robinson, unbelievable. That's crazy.
Juan Gonzalez, 1 tackle per week. That is trash. Dude, y'all, come on, man. We got to do better than that, y'all. We have to do better than that. We can't just sit and say 1 tackle a week.
And we see and Tone, we watching Myles Garrett get 5 sacks in one game.
Oh, talk about it.
We watching defensive ends consistently get 12, 13, 14, 15 sacks a season. This dude got 17 tackles in a season. Unbelievable, bro. Nah. Wait, nah. Like I said, I'm over it. I'm over the Chop Robinson experiment. We need 2 pass rushers. We don't need 1. We need 2. Get Chop Robinson's ass off the goddamn field.
Wow. That's crazy. But listen, man, whew, I ain't expect Chop Robinson to get that catch it straight, but God, bringing that to the forefront. How many sacks did he have last year? No,
5.5,
no, hold on.
6.5, something like that.
Last year he had 26 tackles and 6 sacks.
The man didn't have
9.5 sacks in 2 seasons.
He didn't have a good season last year with 26 tackles, and the man is regressing this season.
Oof.
How you only had 26 tackles last season and you regressing from 26 tackles? Man, hell nah, Chop Robinson. And people out here in the community talking about Chop Robinson, he one of them ones. Man, stop.
I'm sorry, but that's unacceptable.
You know what? For the people that say that, Tone, I'm gonna come out and say it. They're casuals. Whoever says Chop Robinson has something, those are casuals.
Message.
If you know, you know, Tone. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know.
Oh God. Hey,
I told y'all, man. I'm my brother's keeper.
Hey,
man.
yo, that
y'all,
is
man.
you. Hey, you know what, Lou? I haven't used one of these in a while, bro.
God damn it! I like the way you do business.
Wow, man, that's a good old Aloysius special, man. Sorry. Hey, listen, with that being said, still 30 y'all in the building. Listen, appreciate y'all rocking with us. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share the content. We do go live Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and every game we do the live play-by-play. But Lou, Jess, do we got anything?
Yeah. I want you to.
Did you buy a top jersey? The team or whatever that stupid jersey you bought here?
Yeah.
It's her fault, Lou. Blame Jess.
That's crazy. No,
she's going to get it.
End the stream right now.
Get her out of here. She going to get it. Look. Rivalry jersey. You know what? Burn that. Everybody talk about we God, dog. Oh, Lewis got her up out of here.
No, get her up out of here. Get her up out of here, dog.
Lewis say, yeah, get her up out of here. She'll come in. Chop. You know what? It's your fault. You went out there and paid for that. I was in there talking on Spaces earlier, and I'm telling y'all, we're gonna dive into this more in the off season. But I was saying one of the problems with this fan base and our front office, and more specifically Stephen Ross, is we started to reward people for nothing. And you gonna go out there and buy a jersey for 26 tackles and 6.5 sacks. You know what? You're part of the problem. You part of the problem. You got to get out of here. But listen, with all that being said, who did we would develop? Hey, we don't know yet. It's only his second year. Jesus Christ. Foundation. You know what? Lou, who said this, Lou? Foundational player.
A casual said that.
Oh Lord. With that being said, Judge Lou, y'all got anything before we get up out of here?
No, I'm good.
Well, you know, Lou, before you get us up out of here, I would just want to say I have a recommendation, and I recommend the revolver go to Lewis.
Hey, man, that's crazy, man.
Keep the revolver and give it to yourself before you get us out of here. But get us out of here, my brother. God, dog.
Hey, man, listen, this has been the Monday episode of the Blitz Pickup. Y'all know how we do. We ain't going to sugarcoat none. We going to tell y'all what it is. It's the raw and uncut. For my dog Tone, for Jess, for the producer in the back, you know who I am. We'll see y'all Wednesday for the film breakdown. I guess the revolver goes to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all don't believe me. Hey, Tone, before I get up out of here, what do you think the resume is for a dude that has 17 tackles?
Bang, 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 bang.
Hey, we good now. We out of here, man.